Hi, everybody. Brent Schlenker, your U.S. correspondent for Learning Now TV. Actually, one of several now, which is fantastic. It's fun to see the Learning Now TV community growing. I've had the wonderful experience of hosting a daily chat, and one of my more recent guests was Connie Malamed, and we had a fantastic conversation. Here is a few minutes of an hour-long conversation with Connie Malamed.
Well, let's jump in and answer some of these questions real quick. So, how do you think our field will evolve or needs to evolve over the next 10 years? Ooh, that's a big number. Maybe if 5 years is easier, do
5 years
that.
is a lot easier. And I'd like to hear what people in the audience are saying too. So how
Yeah.
how will it evolve, and how I think our roles are going to get much broader, because when people ask for training, there are problems, and it's not always a training problem. So I think that, but everyone I meet in the field is so smart that I know that everyone can do more than just create a training course. So I think we can find all kinds of wide open solutions to these performance problems or workplace problems that people are having. So I think that's one way. I just think we're going to really expand. I think we're going to be able to find big solutions like people call it blended learning. Sometimes I call it 360-degree solutions, where maybe eventually people will be open to us coming up with really broad solutions, and they will actually pay for it. Because sometimes the solution is a checklist. I mean, that happens in the medical world all the time.
Yeah.
The solution to a problem is a checklist, and people don't have the cognitive architecture to remember huge amounts of things, just like pilots. That book that I read, The Checklist Manifesto, that was so awesome.
Yeah.
It was so, you would think that it would be so boring, but to me it was fascinating.
Through them, but let's just go with what other fields would you suggest that people read about and study that are outside of instructional design?
So two of them are definitely user experience design, which has such an overlap with learning experience design, or LX design. And if we begin to call ourselves LX designers, just think of how cool that will be. Because now UX and IDX, so user experience design, interaction design, user interface design, and visual design are some of the standard ones.
Yeah. I always like to throw out too, for people that isn't always it isn't always immediately one that pops up, but I think anthropology is
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, that's why in UX there's ethnographic research, they call it, And now
ethnography. Yeah.
Now I don't even think of it as analysis so much as research and analysis.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is we're researching people and getting that empathy happened. Someone mentioned game design,
Yep.
ethnography. Yes.
Lots of good ones.
Lots of good ones. It's always good to just go outside the field. Like you're saying, even with anthropology, with sociology, you can just pull things back into it.
Question on what tool or software do you prefer to use when creating job aids, and why? And does it matter if it's one page or multiple pages?
Well, that's an interesting question. You know what's weird? I don't know in design. I have it, and I just haven't had the time to learn it. So for me, the best tool that I use for creating manuals and job aids is either PowerPoint or Illustrator. Word is probably the worst, because I don't even know how to put a picture in Word. It just goes all over the place. So PowerPoint is so nice. I mean,
yeah.
Somebody, Diane thinks she loves InDesign. Oh, now you're making me feel bad. I've got to learn InDesign. But Illustrator is really nice too. And people will ask me to make information graphics for them, and I always do that in Illustrator. But a simple job aid with check marks, I might be happy to do that in PowerPoint. PowerPoint has, can do some nice layouts, and you can make it any single size that you want, and then you export to a PDF.
Sure.
And let's see what people think about how many pages should a job aid be. So if the purpose of a job aid is to quickly get information, I would say it has to be short, with just a few pages. However, pilots use a job aid that's a fat binder. So you must, if you're going to have a fat job aid, you have to have some kind of color coding and quick reference, a table of contents or something that can get you there quickly. And then when something is really long, that's when I start to think, well, why not just make it electronic? Why not make it a portal or a mobile app? and so that you can access something very quickly rather than flipping through pages. That's what I think. But let's hear what other people are saying.
And that's Connie Malamed from the elearningcoach.com. Hope you all enjoyed that. If you have any time coming up in the near future, TLD Chat goes live every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and 4 p.m. UK time. I hope to see you there. Everybody have a great month, and we'll see you next month.